Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm reviewing LEGO set 10292, The Friends Apartments. This is based on the popular Friends sitcom, and it's kind of like a sequel set to the Ideas Central Perk set that released in fall of 2019. This set has 2,048 pieces, it's for ages 18 plus, and it retails for $150 in the US. Here's Rachel. This outfit is from season 1, episode 19, the one where the monkey gets away. I do watch Friends. I actually just started it because I bought this set. So I did see this episode. Pretty faithful recreation of her outfit, and I love this figure. Definitely my favorite in the set. She actually just has side leg printing, not dual molded legs, but there's like an intricate pattern, and that's some great printing along the side. Her face is unique as far as I can tell, and it does look pretty good, and she also has a coffee cup, so it's always nice to see that piece. Next up, we've got Phoebe. This outfit is from season 6, episode 7, the one where Phoebe runs. I really like this figure as well. The torso is fantastic. She's actually got a new piece for the paintbrush. You can see that there's a lot more paint on it now, and curiously, there's now like a couple of marks on it. I don't love those holes, but it is kind of nice to get a paintbrush that's actually like filled with paint. But what's the best part about her is that she's got the Sally hair from Disney Minifigures Series 2 in blonde. So that's a very nice new color for that piece, and I hope that we see more of it in the future. Her face isn't new though. I think it's just repeated from the Central Perk set. Here's Monica. This outfit is from season 7, episode 9, the one with all the candy. It's very well done. I love the apron printing. It could maybe be a little bit darker on the legs, but then the pattern behind that is fantastic as well. I kind of wish that we had a whole torso just like with that pattern. She's holding a whisk, and her face is very disappointing. It's Tina Goldstein's face, which is the same one that was used in Central Perk, I think. But as you can see, the mouth is just super offset to the left. I don't know why. It seems to be a deliberate choice because it also looks like that in LEGO's official images. So I really don't understand, but I know that that's a huge problem with this face print in particular. And again, like LEGO shouldn't be making simple mistakes like that. The back torso printing is awesome. And then she does have an alternate face as well. And this one does have more of a centered mouth. This is Ross, Monica's brother. This minifigure is from season 5, episode 11, the one with all the resolutions. I'm reading this off of the instruction manual right now. It's very handy that they have a guide. So he's stuck in 2 tight leather pants, and so the torso printing is pretty nice and accurately depicts that. I have no idea what he's holding. I think it's supposed to be like baby powder or something, but don't quote me on that. He has some back printing as well, and then he also has an alternate face, and I believe that this is a new face print for him. Here's Joey, and he is one of the more interesting figures in the set. This one is from season 3, episode 2, the one where no one's ready, where he's wearing all of Chandler's clothes. I love that scarf piece. I do wish we would get it in more colors, but, you know, getting it in red is pretty cool. And it's very interesting how, you know, like you've got the light bluish gray torso, but then with black sleeves and black printing on the back. I don't think this face print is new either, because I think it was also in the Central Perk set. And there's a better look at his torso, which is, again, very detailed with all of those ties that he's wearing. Here's Chandler from season 4, episode 2, the one with the cat. He's holding a ticket piece, which is a very nice print, not new, but I have no idea why he's holding it. I don't know the context because I'm only like halfway through season 2 of the show right now. He does have a very nice pattern for the tie though, and I like his suit jacket as well as his face print. His face print is pretty good, and I believe it is new here as well, and I particularly like that alternate face. Lastly, we've got Janice, Chandler's like on and off girlfriend. This is from season 7, episode 7, the one with Ross's library book. I really like this figure as well. She's got a great torso print, pearl gold legs, a nice bag. I feel like we don't see that in as many sets nowadays. But what really stands out is her head and her hair. This is Bellatrix Lestrange's hair in a dark brown, which is fantastic. I love this piece, and so I really like seeing it in this new color. And her face print is also very expressive. You've got like that kind of open-mouthed loud expression because she's a very loud character, and then you've got her super annoying laugh on the other side. So I think that that's a really cute face. And then we've got some accessories before we get into the actual build. There are a ton of Easter eggs in this set, so I apologize if I don't catch them all because my knowledge is basically just coming from my mom and then other reviews that I've read. But this is a turkey because I believe a turkey like falls on Monica's head or something later in an episode. This is Phoebe's dollhouse, which has been lit on fire. I actually think that this is a really great build because these 1x2 pieces do create a compartmentalized dollhouse very nicely. And then this is Gladys, Phoebe's portrait. I love this thing as well because it's got an exclusive face print with like gray eyes. So, I mean, it is pretty creepy. But then it's also got an exclusive color for this hairpiece that was introduced with the Back to the Future like dimension set. But it's been used a ton since then, but it's the first time we're seeing it in black. So I think that that's a really awesome thing. And then obviously unprinted torsos are nice for people that want, you know, like monochrome minifigures. So this set consists of Chandler and Joey's apartment on the left and Monica and Rachel's apartment on the right. Now, this layout is very long. You can see you've got the hallway in the middle, but it's quite awkward to display. And honestly, I would have been fine if LEGO had just made Monica and Rachel's apartment. So this is probably the last time you're going to see it connected like this, because I'm just going to zero in on each build separately. Both of these structures are a very similar size to the Central Perk set, although I think Monica and Rachel's apartment is slightly bigger. And they're built in the exact same way. This is meant to be like the studio set. So we've got studio lights off to the side. These can be adjusted because they're on ball joints, and you can also turn the flaps in and out. But if you don't like that, they're pretty easy to just remove altogether. Just pop off this that 2x3 plate, and then you can just remove those lights and have a regular apartment. So much like an actual set, there's no like detail around the back. You've got some doors, but they lead to nowhere. Obviously, in the actual place, they would lead to the bedrooms. We've got another door back there, some windows over here. So it's pretty plain around all of the sides, although on this side, you do have some nice tiling with more 2x3 tiles. And then there's the front door. So I'm going to go ahead and get those studio lights out of the way a little bit. But you can see we've just got the entire living room over here. I don't really know where to start, so I guess we'll just start up by the front door. You've got a little sticker on the door that says "Gone To" with a drawing of a coffee cup, obviously saying that they've gone to Central Perk. You actually get a couple of different options for stickers for the door, so I'll show that with the extra pieces. But then over here, you've got a table with a book on it and then like a little cork board above it. The stickers in this set are very cool. They're very detailed, so I definitely appreciate that. And then inside the book, I think there's just a little printed piece. Or sorry, that's actually a sticker. That is not a print. I don't know what that's referencing, so please let me know if you do. And that actually just clips into the wall, which I like because then it looks like it's lying on the table, but it's actually secured. I guess the one advantage of this being such a weird build is that it's pretty easy to get my phone down in there. So we've also got this little Manhattan sticker off to the left. That is a fantastic like design. I just really like that. And then as for the rest of the kitchen, you can see you've just got, you know, normal kitchen stuff. You got some cabinets. You've got the fridge over here with a lot of bottles up above. The fridges can't open, but I mean, they look really good, so I'm not that bothered by that. You've got more cabinets up above. You've got a little sink, and I actually really like the way that that's built using like a half cylinder piece. There's a toaster oven, I think, with a mug there. Some milk, which is a print that I haven't seen before, and it's not a very good print because the white is not opaque at all. And then there's also a little bird here, which I do not know the significance of. We've got a couple of stools at the bar, but there is no dining table. Instead, we've got the foosball table from when like Joey and Chandler couldn't pick a new dining table. I did see that episode. I think that that's a really cute reference, and that's just a really great build. Here's a bit of a closer look at this because, I mean, the advantage of apartment sets like this is that they just have fascinating builds for kind of like everyday objects. Not that a foosball table in an apartment is an everyday object. Up front, we've got a canoe, which is new in dark orange, I believe, and there's a chicken and 2 oars in there. I think that that's a reference to when they sold all of their furniture and they only had a canoe, but I don't know why the chicken is there. Off to the left, we've got another stickered like art piece up on the wall. And then now we get more into the living space. So in this corner back here, we've got a dartboard and then like those Rock'em Sock'em robots. This is meant to be the door to the bathroom. Sorry, my camera's getting a little bit stuck, but that's meant to be the door to the bathroom with a tennis racket on it. We've also got a hockey stick. There's a couch back here with some nice lamps. Those were kind of fiddly builds, but they look pretty good. And then all the way back there, we do actually have another sticker up on the wall. That sticker says The Mysteries of Billund. Clearly, I wouldn't say that in the show, but that's just a cute little Lego reference. And then next to the couch, we've got this statue of a white dog. This is Pat the dog, which is apparently a white dog statue that Joey bought after he got famous on a soap opera. And speaking of that soap opera, you can actually see Joey on the TV in character right over there. Finishing up with the coffee table, we've got a pizza box, a regular Lego newspaper, and this is a pretty nice build for a glass-topped coffee table. And then going back to that entertainment system, if I can get this over the walls, I do really like the way that that's built. It was kind of finicky, but we've got some standing speakers as well as what I'm assuming is a DVD player down there. And so you can just pull this entire assembly out of the wall pretty easily if you want to. Then lastly, we've got the recliner section, but just like Central Perk, you can see that this is built sideways because it's very easily removable. So that leaves a hole in the floor, but it lets you have like this rug area to just display. And as you can see, there is a little function there because if you just turn these down, they will actually recline. So I think that that's a really cute feature, and they go down in unison, which I'm pretty sure was a joke in the show. And you've also got a little side table over here that can spin around a little bit. So here's what the guys look like in the recliners. And again, that just works pretty easily. I don't love the design for this rug. It just seems kind of simple compared to the ones in Monica and Rachel's apartment and the one in Central Perk, but I still really like that you can just remove these and display them separately from the rest of the build. And it just slides in super easily. It doesn't connect with studs or anything. It just lies right there. So here's Monica and Rachel's apartment. I like this one much better. Like, I love this build. I'm very happy about it. You know, like I said, I started watching Friends kind of just so I could justify buying this set because I was like, you can't spend $150 on something that you don't watch. But I mean, this apartment is just so iconic because I had seen some episodes before I actually started watching it. However, this one doesn't look as nice around the back because you've got a ton of weird colors and just like a lot of things sticking out. You know, like you've got some bricks sticking out here. You've got the blue mixing with the purple, mixing with the yellow, mixing with like the white, and like the nougat. So it is a little bit awkward. But I mean, it's okay. You've got another like panel on the back here. This is the balcony. We'll come back around to this at the end. And then these are the bedroom doors. So I've just gone ahead and popped off the lights because it's much easier to get into here without them. The other thing I want to address is that there is a giant beam running through the middle of the apartment that is accurate to the show. And this beam was mysteriously removed, I believe in like season 3, because I think it was like a hindrance to the camera people. But it's a hindrance to everyone, I feel like, looking at this set, because first of all, it's extremely flimsy, which I don't know how you could have made that stronger, but it's kind of just really annoying because it's one of the last things you build, and it's just so big and useless and weak that it really annoys me. So I think I'm just going to go ahead for the purposes of this review and remove it so that it doesn't get in my way. Without that beam, it's just so much easier to see like everything. I feel like the room is just very opened up. You know, maybe I might even display it without the beam because it's so annoying. But up front, I forgot to mention this on Chandler and Joey's apartment, but there is this new print for like an intercom piece. We've also got a sticker for the door. Now, I hate the color matching here because this lavender is much darker than the actual piece, and so that's kind of annoying. Like, that could have been a transparent sticker. And then we've also got like some suggestion of glass above the doors. There's also that nice printed Ship at Night painting, which has been in sets for years, but I always like seeing it. And then I guess we'll just start with the kitchen again. You've got a little entrance table here with another pizza box and some like doohickeys down there and some flowers. The table is pretty nice. It is quite small because tables in Lego are either going to be too small or way too big. But you've got a nice set of mismatched chairs, which is accurate to the show, and all of them are built in a different way, so it's very interesting. All right, I'm doing my absolute best to get down here in the kitchen. Maybe I'll try to move up some of those chairs a little bit. So in the corner over here, we've got the stove and the oven below it. We've got some more pans lying up here. I do kind of like that addition to make the handle a lot longer. And then the shelves here look great in that blue color with all of those bottles. And the kitchen window also looks fantastic. I love this cool yellow color. I always love it whenever it's used in Lego. I'll just pull that up a little bit so that you guys can see the tops of that. But you've got the sink, which is a very interesting build. This is a little shaky, but it's not going to pull out. You've got some more plants. You got the fridge. I think that's another toaster. And then you've just got some more cupboards above it. I will say, I think that they could have used like 1 or 2 small stickers to add some magnets to the fridge to make them more interesting. But like I said, I do like the build, even though you can't open it at all. And so that's the thing. This set is like, that's what makes it feel more for adults, you know, is that you have so many intricately designed like furniture items that just aren't really functional. Back in this corner, we do have a nice wall sconce, although this is pretty annoying to build because it's kind of hard to position just correctly because it always wants to get knocked out of alignment. I love these little side tables. And then this is the bathroom door in the show. And then if I rotate this around and try not to hit the camera on it, you'll see that there's another door back here. This is actually to Monica's closet, which is stuffed full of junk. And I really appreciate that because you've just got some random boxes. There's a stool, and then there's also an Aqua minifigure head. And I think that that's a really great piece. The one irritating thing about this closet, though, is that it's pretty much impossible to access. Like, I'm struggling so much to stuff everything back in it because it's just set so far back and there's no other way in. The only other way in would be to like kind of disassemble the top or like pop out the glass on the other side. So that's kind of annoying. So now we arrive at the living space, and again, just like the other apartment and Central Perk, this can be easily lifted out. So we'll take a look at that separately in a second. But with that gone, it just gives a much better look at the bedroom doors. That's Rachel's bedroom. This is Monica's bedroom. We have a nice little TV over here, although it does kind of irritate me because it swings around a lot. It says Go Sports. And then we have an ad for Lego up here, which again, is not accurate to the show. I think the design is pretty accurate, but it's just like what's actually happening. But I think it's really cute that it's a Lego ad instead of, you know, being 100% accurate to the show. And this whole cabinet build that the TV sits on is actually done very well. So here's the couch area. I think that this is built very well again. We've got a nice couch. These throw pillows are pieces from Minecraft. I don't think that works very well because you can clearly tell that they're from Minecraft. And those are just positioned using a couple of, I believe, those like those like jumper pieces, those posing pieces, I mean. So you can remove those to have more room on the couch. We've got a little shopping list on a table here. We've got another chair over here. You can kind of, you know, like recline that back. The table in the middle is built in a pretty interesting manner as well. That surprised me, but it kind of annoys me because not everything can line up perfectly. We've got a couple of cups and bottles, another newspaper, and then over here there's another chair and then just a bunch more tables. Again, the level of detail in this set is really great because you've got all of these little knickknacks and like each table is built slightly differently. And I like the rug here a lot better. It was more complicated to build, but it just has a much better design, I think, than the one in Joey and Chandler's apartment. Before I put that back in, you will see Monica's ottoman in the corner there because that was a plot point in one of the episodes. And then all the way at the back, you can see that wonderful angled window. That's such a hallmark of the Friends apartment. That can actually be adjusted. You might have seen it moving around earlier, but the curtains are done pretty well. And this little table can actually be pulled out as well. It's in there very tightly, so it's much harder to remove. But with that gone, you can see that you've got another tiny little table in the corner and those kind of like opera masks up on the wall. This table isn't really anything special. It's just really like a 2x4 table with a minifigure head as like a pot. And then this chair is tucked away underneath it and there's not really any room for it to come out. So with this thing back in place, now you can see the full living room. And that pretty much does it for the interior. So we'll go around to the outside and I'll just put this beam back in so that you guys can get one last look at how this is supposed to look, even though I don't like having the beam there. So there's no way to actually get to this balcony, which is kind of a shame because I think there's supposed to be a door right here, but that's okay. We can just imagine it. Again, the window looks really good from this side as well. And I love all of the brickwork out here. It's just fantastic. I always love these masonry bricks. We've got a cat out here, the cat that jumped on Ross's head when he was trying to kiss Rachel. And then we've also got this, which is a poking device from the episode about like the great poking device, because I think they were trying to get across the street to their friend's apartment, or sorry, their neighbor's apartment. And then we also have a little suggestion of the fire escape here that's done with wrought iron, and it looks really good because it uses like black sausage pieces and bars. And so it's just a very nice, simplistic, but kind of fancy build. And there is some space to pose figures. Lastly, we've got the hallway that connects the apartments. There is another Easter egg here. This is a piece of dropped cheesecake that they end up eating off the floor. That's a pretty cute detail, and I do like the way that it was built very simplistically. We've got a radiator over here and another one of those stickers from Joey and Chandler's apartments, just showing the blinds. But other than that, this is a pretty basic little hallway, but I'm still glad it was included. And this is where the apartment's attached to it. So none of these things connect with studs. What you do is you put the like hallway bit on top of these exposed plate pieces, because this is like one of those 2x2s with 2 studs and then like a smooth space for tiles. So you just have to kind of like line that up. And then once done correctly, you've got the hallway connecting the apartments, and so they are kind of connected at different angles. And there's a bit of a closer look at the connected entrance. It's just kind of hard to get in there, and I'm breaking off the wooden beam in the apartment yet again. There are a ton of extra pieces here, and some of them are quite nice with the oar, the spoon. We've got like those little like nano figures, so I'm pretty happy with that, and of course that printed piece. And here are the 2 extra stickers for the door in Joey and Chandler's apartment. We've got "I'm sorry" repeated a bunch of times, and then a big Y. I just chose the Central Perk one because I think it's the most useful, since I haven't seen the episodes that this is from. And I mean, like, the instructions just suggested the Central Perk one, so I was like, okay, I'll listen to you. Because this is an 18+ set, it's got that black background, which I think looks absolutely terrible for this set. It looks horrible. Like, this set is so hard to display just because it's so strange, and this is not doing it any favors at all. The only thing I like is the blue stripe along the bottom, but other than that, I'm sorely missing like the very nice box art design for Central Perk. Up top, we have the Friends and then Janice all the way off to the side here. On the side, we've actually got this really nice kind of like photo design of all of them. That's probably my favorite part of the box. And then at the back, you can see mine's actually kind of scuffed up in the corner, but it's just got a bunch of different scenes and it shows the measurements. I particularly like just all of the scenes like from the show. I think it looks really, really cute. Here's the instruction booklet for this set. I actually quite like this cover with all of the friends there. And there's a lot of detail about the show in the beginning, which is nice, you know, for people like me that aren't super fans. And, you know, you've got these comparisons of like the actual scenes. So I really love all of the detail and care that's been put into this stuff. So, I mean, I'm not going to spend a ton of time doing this, but you've also got a minifigure list, which, again, very helpful since I could not watch the entire show while I built this set. And then at the back, you've just got the very long inventory, and there are no ads for Central Perk or anything, which is kind of strange because, I mean, that's still available. So overall, I mean, this is a pretty fantastic set. Even as someone that's not a super huge fan of the show, I love it. The only problem is that I don't think we needed a set this big. So this has 2,000 pieces. We've got 7 awesome exclusive minifigures, and it's $150. And it's a pretty decent size when completed. On paper, that seems like a pretty good value. However, Central Perk was like the size of each of these apartments, and that was $60. So I honestly feel like this, and that set had like 1,000 pieces. So I honestly feel like this set should be $120 compared to Central Perk. The other thing is that I don't really care about Joey and Chandler's apartment. Like, it's cute, it's got some nice features like the recliners, but overall, just when these two are next to each other, that apartment is just like tan and drab at first glance, whereas Monica and Rachel's apartment is like, that's what's actually like iconic and fully detailed and everything. And I don't know, like, if this was a $150 set that was just Monica and Rachel's apartment, I'm sure that the designer could have done the entire apartment. Like, we could have gotten the bathroom and the bedrooms as well, and it would have been better to display, because it's easier to display one of these oddly shaped things than it is to display 2 of them linked together by a little hallway. Like, I don't know, like, the only place I feel like this makes sense to display is at a shelf that's like high up, so like at eye level or a little bit below eye level, because it's just kind of, it's just odd to put on display. Like, I don't even know where I'm gonna put this. So overall, I think it's a great set. I just feel like we didn't really need Joey and Chandler's apartment. But I mean, I don't know, maybe super fans of the show will disagree with me. I like the Easter eggs. I just don't think it's needed. And again, I just think displaying this is kind of odd. I don't think $150 is a terrible price. You definitely get a lot of value here. It's just that following the precedent set by Central Perk, I think this set should have been like 120 or maybe 130, but 150 just seems like a little bit high compared to the first Friends set. That's it for today, so don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com. I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.